Hi crafters, it's Omega, and I'm coming to you today. Actually, I'm doing a review on a product, and this is the product here. It's called Jones Tones Foils, and you can see the array here. I'm going to go through some so you can see the beautiful foil colors. You have different designs, iridescent designs there. You got solids. Here's a pretty rainbow, striped rainbow, iridescent, all kind of designs. Very beautiful foils. I hope they're coming through on the camera well because they're really gorgeous. Purples and golds and silver and green. You got orange and red, yellows. So this is what we're working with today. These foil pieces here. And what you would use is this glue. It is the foil glue is made especially to work with these foils. I'm going to show you just how it looks. And you can see that the tip is very pointed, and I'm going to squirt just a little bit out on my finger if it will come out. So when it first comes out, see that I have just a little there. It's kind of a cloudy, transparent cloudy white color, and when you apply that, you do need to let it turn clear before you apply it, and then apply the foils. But I'll show you here in just a moment how I did that. Now you can use a brush. I used foam, little foam applicators. Now either way I've used it so far, what I came up with did not give me a very smooth texture, which is what I was looking for and hoping for, but it gave a brush texture because the glue is dimensional. It has dimension to it, so it does not give a smooth finish on it. These are some pieces that I actually applied to some cardstock, and then I cut the pieces, these pieces here. You'll see them here on this card in a moment. And I used the Spellbinders die cuts. It's just these dies here. This is Spellbinders Gold Corner sets, and I love these. I love these. I've actually used them on some other projects. But I went ahead, and what I did is made a little card here, and I did it on black so that this foil application here shows up really well. So I just did a silver emboss of a pretty rose, which was a stamp. This rose stamp here. This stamp is I believe it's an Inka Dinka Do. It is not labeled. I got it in a bin for like $2, but I thought it was so pretty. It was very much worth it. But I stamped that, and then I stamped Sending Love to You. And then what I'm simply going to do is apply the corners to the card here. And that will be my accent on this card for the silver. I just thought I'd do it like that. So that's what we have there. In fact, let me pick this one up. It's not on very straight. I'm on camera, so it's taking me forever to get it straight. So that's just kind of how that one looks. And if you can see, that is just a pretty accent on that card. So that's just one application and how I figured I would use that. So I applied it to cardstock first, and then I applied it to the cardstock like this, and then simply took my die cuts, laid them down on the piece, and cut them out like that. So that's simply how I did those corners. But I'm going to show you here something else I did. Now I've already applied the glue, and the reason I did that beforehand, before being on camera, I wanted it to get the clear, to to clear. It needs to be clear before you apply the foil, or else it's not going to do a smooth application. So what I did here was used an embossing folder by Stampin' Up. This is called, I believe it's the Manhattan Rose or something like that. The name's not on here, but it's a very pretty embossing folder. I love it. I literally embossed that, and then I took this and went around and got each of the embossed lines on here. It took a little time, so I could not do that on camera. Now, like I said, it comes out in a kind of cloudy color, a kind of transparent cloudy color, and so you can tell when it's ready to have the foil applied because it dries clear. Once it dries clear, you can then lay your foil on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on camera. I'm going to open the card up, lay it as flat as I can. This is the foil. I'm going to use a red piece. The dull gray side is the side that you lay down on the glue. The shiny or the color side is what should be up. So we're going to give this a shot. I'm doing this one on camera so you can see how it works. Now, as I said, I applied the glue already because I wanted this to be dry and ready to accept this. And as you can see, I'm not really pressing real hard. I'm just going over the lines to get this to lay down on that glue. I'm going to rub a little bit. I want it to take well. Hopefully it will. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not nearly as good at using this as probably I should be. I like the product. I have to practice using it. So it does take time to get to use it and understand how it works. But I think that's a very, very pretty effect, especially doing it on camera. So I'm going to do the rest of this here. And it's only going to pick up where the glue is. So on the area that's already been covered, it's not going to even pick that up. That's pretty. Now that is very pretty. So I'm trying to turn here now the paper as much as I can to pick up the rest of get the rest of the glue covered here. It's really turning out much better than I expected, to be honest with you. It is turning out pretty good. Pretty good. The only problem is I'm having to find the areas that did not get covered well, but as you can see, it's picking it up. It is very pretty. Okay, let me get one right here. Oh, that's a little line there I didn't even get glue on. But as you can see, this is the Manhattan Rose emboss, and I did it in red, and it actually turned out pretty good. Now, like I said, I have to practice working with this, but it will get better as you practice and learn how to apply it. Now, I actually let this glue just set on here and dry for several minutes. I just left it alone and came back to it. So I would suggest not tampering with it at all until it has become completely clear. When it's clear, it's a little bit tacky, just slightly tacky to the touch, but that means it's time to apply the foil. So I think that turned out pretty well. It's glue on and the foil. You do not want to apply heat directly to this, so you cannot emboss with a heat gun once you've laid the glue down on there. So you don't want to do that. So when I did this one, I had embossed this first. I had done this separately and then simply laid my pieces on the card after doing this exact same application, and that's how it works. So I would say if you like playing around and experimenting with something, and if you don't mind, you know, taking the time to really learn the product, that this is a good thing. This is actually the best application that I've had as far as an outcome. This, and I do like the little corner pieces. I would do that again. The only thing I have the brush strokes in it. I didn't want that, but I think it looks fine to be a little bit maybe rustic more so than just a smooth. It's not like a smooth mirrored finish. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Writing, you can write with that tip, since the tip is fine, and then let it dry. So there's applications you can use. There's ways that you can use. So I would say it's nice. It turned out nice. And I would give it a B+. However, I do think it's more the user that I wouldn't grade it higher, because I have to learn how to use it to get a better effect. So that's my outcome using the foils. And as I showed you there, I used a pretty red one doing the rose there. I probably could have added some green in there for a leaf or whatever, but yeah, that's what I came up with using the glue and the foils. I really like how that turned out. So enjoy. Talk to you later. Bye.